More content help. This is Lynn. I DM'd Lynn because I had some questions. Like, what is an elevated woman? And like, what does know there's more and wants to get all of their desires and is ready to get it? What is that? So you can see here, I was like, what is this? And just a little recap. I am letting people go on my Facebook and tell me what their offers are and who it's for, and then I am telling you what direction I would go in your content to get more sales right here, right now, today. And so what she said to me was kind of vague, and I had questions as a business coach and a marketing consultant. And so she came back, and you can pause to read it, but she said, living in alignment daily, creating a next level reality, living where desire-based decision making is the only way. You're just gonna have to excuse the noise. I'm sitting outside. We've got construction workers here. My daughter's driving down the street in her little Jeep with her music playing. Like, life of a working mom, eh? Anyway, so she goes on to say this person knows that she wants more. She's pretty happy. She's pretty successful, but she feels that pull. Now, one thing that I cannot do, because a past coach let this happen to me, is I'm not going to let anyone off the hook. Lots of people got DMs from me saying, say more, say more. Here's some guidance. Here's some support. Here's some questions that I want you to ask yourself so that you can get really, really clear. Because, and with all the love in the world, and no hate to Lynn, because so many people do this, saying things like an elevated woman, how do I identify myself as a reader, as a consumer, as someone in your audience? And again, this is not just Lynn, but we're using her as an example today. How do I identify myself that, yes, I am this elevated woman, you are for sure talking to me? What does relatively happy mean? What does relatively successful mean? How can I see myself in the content? And if your dream clients cannot see themselves in what you're saying, cannot see themselves in the end result, cannot see themselves through the process, then they are going to be reluctant to try to decipher that for themselves. Like, your content has to be so clear that your audience is not doing any filling in the blanks, any guesswork, any inference on what you're saying. They know exactly what is up. You are talking right to them, and they are feeling called out. So I sent Lynn a message and I said, Lynn, I want you to sit with these questions because you obviously have something very impactful that you are working on and that you help your people with. And I want those people to feel seen so that they are throwing their money at you. So some of the questions that I encouraged her to sit down with today were things like, who actually is this woman? What actually do these words mean? Like, how do I know I'm an elevated woman? What is relatively happy? What is relatively successful? How am I knowing that I'm not making desire-based decisions right now? And how are you going to walk me through that so I'm doing that? Why is that even important to me? Why should I care that I'm making desire-based decisions? Especially an elevated woman who's relatively successful and relatively happy, she's probably putting herself last a lot. And that's why she's so successful, which means she's probably not making desire-based decisions at all in her business. She's making the decisions that's going to make other people happy so that she is more successful and like pleasing people across the board, because the patriarchy has done some real damage to us as women. And like I said, this happened to me. I had a coach let me get away with saying my I help statement was that I helped female entrepreneurs like be more confident, build their success, and create a life of their dreams. And that just means nothing. Like, what does that even mean? How do I know that I'm not confident enough? How will I know if I'm more confident? How am I going to create the success? What even is the success that I'm trying to create? Success is different for everybody. And like, what does the life of my dreams look like? It's different for everybody. But when you can really nail in and niche down and refine to something that's so specific, so situational, like maybe you want to take your family to Disney for Christmas. Like, that's really niche. Not very many people want to do that. But when you can start telling a story of how I'm going to help you do this thing, other people who maybe don't want to go to Disney or vacation like that at all are still going to see how clear it is to go from point A to point B with you. And so I encouraged her to do that work. She thanked me for it. And so I really wanted to come here and bring this because, again, I'm not going to let anyone get away with the buzzwords, the vague stuff, the coach speak that goes over people's heads and doesn't make them stop their scroll. Because one of the other things that I had mentioned to Lynn was a lot of the coachy industry buzzwords can be transferred across like every niche. You can be in graphic design, you can be in weight loss, you can be in mental health, you can be in business coaching. It sounds to me that she's probably doing like a lot of manifestation and mindset and journaling and things like that with her people to help them like really embody these parts of themselves. But like, let's say that really clearly so that your ideal person sees themselves in your content, sees themselves doing the work with you and hiring you.